A lot has changed in the last year following the Supreme Court's historic ruling on abortion last summer. In many conservative-leaning states, new restrictions are now in effect. In many liberal-leaning states, access is a bit easier. But there have been political impacts, too. For instance, races and elections that before you may have never paid attention to are now suddenly very important. And nowhere in the country is that more on display this week than in the state of Wisconsin, where on Tuesday a not-so-typical spring election is taking place. The future of abortion access in the state could be decided. Let's get you caught up on what's happening. In Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court has 7 justices on it, and the public elects them. Right now, it's a 4-3 conservative majority. Last year, the court backed a law from 1849 banning abortion. But now, one of the conservative justices is retiring. That makes control of the court up for grabs. If a liberal-leaning justice wins, abortion access could be restored. If a conservative wins, existing abortion bans would likely stay.
Wisconsin has never had a state Supreme Court race like this, period, full stop.
For perspective, I wanted to check in with Charles Benson. He's been covering politics in the state for decades and is part of Scripps News Milwaukee. Benson says technically this race is nonpartisan, but Democrats and Republicans have spent millions informing voters that Janet Protasevich is the liberal-leaning candidate and that Dan Kelly is conservative-leaning.
The money has been massive. We're talking $30 million and counting.
If you don't live in Wisconsin, there are still lessons you can learn from this week's election. For one, the results will be the latest gauge of how Americans feel about reproductive rights. The other lesson, expect contests for judges and justices in your state to get even more political. See all these states in yellow? They elect their Supreme Court justices either in a nonpartisan or partisan manner initially. Barbara Lee, perhaps, feels like you.
Just ridiculous how partisan everything has become.
Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.